Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, September the 9th, race number 7 at Del Mar. Nice stakes race for two-year-old California breds. It's the $125,000 I'm Smokin at 3/4 of a mile. Before we get to the full preview, please check out this brief message.
Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets.
Here's the field for the $125,000 I'm Smokin. Very promising maiden winner. Kangaroo Court, the number 1, is your 8-5 morning line favorite. The 5, Good and Thirsty, is scratched. While Kangaroo Court earned a very strong buyer speed figure in his most recent race, he might have some company up front here, Mike.
It feels like somebody's going to have to go with him if they have plans on beating him. And here, Dan, he's run twice. He's actually run really well in both of them, particularly the maiden win last time where he just, dusted that field from start to finish.
I can't argue with this time form U.S. pace projector. I won't argue that the pace will be fast. I think it will be. I won't argue that the 1 and the 6 might knock heads. They certainly could. The 6 straighten up. Already stakes placed from 2 starts for trainer Jerry Hollendorfer. He's also very fast. And if Kangaroo Court hops a bit, leaving the gate from the inside post, straighten up might be gone.
Straighten up's going in here for sure. He's also a very fast horse. Really, he doesn't have the figures yet. Both the 1 and the 6 have 2 starts under their belts. The 6 doesn't have the figures that the 1 has, but he's a fast horse.
The 1, Kangaroo Court, made his career debut at Del Mar, and he caught a very sharp horse. The Big Wham is a talented Calbred. He finished second behind the Big Wham, who came back to run in the graduation. Kangaroo Court returned in a maiden special weight for Calbreds. He was 1-5. I'm not sure he was facing much in this race. Kangaroo Court beat them like you're supposed to beat a field if you're not facing much. He opened up drastically on the turn. He goes about his business to win by over 14 lengths, and he earned an 81 buyer.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if this field behind him's any good at all? They never really had a chance in here, Dan. This horse, had an easy time making the lead early, and he just widened on that field at every point of call. It was a pretty impressive win, actually, for a horse who also just ran really well first time out also. He's the horse to beat for sure.
John Sadler, Flavian Pratt, fresh off the big victory in the Pacific Classic with the Superstar Flightline. They sent out a first-time starter in here, showing some confidence in the number 2, Moon Ice. This is a colt by He Be Fire and Ice, who's 2 for 31 with debut runners. Not a ton of pedigree here. The second dam was a stakes-winning synthetic router, but these workouts are sharp, and you got to think they think he can run.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're going to enter him here, they like what they've seen from him in the morning. And listen, Sadler does have really good numbers. You can look it up in Formulator. 2-year-old first-time starters in dirt sprints. The numbers are excellent. So he does have these horses ready to go. Whether you want to take a first-time starter in a race like this is another question entirely. But if he's some kind of, decent price in here, I wouldn't argue too hard against him.
The number 3 is Hacking It Up by Kentucky Derby winner Nyquist. The winner 2 starts back at Del Mar in pace-pressing fashion. He just couldn't keep up in the early stages with Straighten Up last time out in the graduation. Gave an even finish. Doug O'Neill goes to the blinkers this time around.
Yeah, we'll see if he can take some kind of step forward. It's going to have to be a pretty big one. I actually liked the first 2 starts of his career and thought that he would, improve a little bit in that graduation last time. And for whatever reason, Dan, that didn't happen. This horse really didn't do that much running in there.
The number 4, Amigo GA, is stepping up in class off a debut win against maiden claimers. But the fact that he passed horses in this race, I think, is a very good sign, considering the pace should be fast in the I'm Smokin. He made a pretty strong move into contention on the turn. He keeps grinding it on down. Only a 51 buyer speed figure. Big step up in class. He has to improve.
Yeah, he's got to improve a lot. I like this debut. I realized it was a maiden 50, and it didn't come back a fast race. I just like the way that he won it from just off the pace. You can see here as they come to the finish. I mean, he gets it done really under strong handling there. I like the way that he won it, but he's got to get a lot faster.
The 5, Good and Thirsty, will scratch, so we'll move on to the number 6. That's Straighten Up, and this Jerry Hollendorfer trainee just went right to the front in his debut at Los Alamitos, shook loose on those foes and kept right on going, and he ran a big race in his second lifetime start against the aforementioned the Big Wham. This is the kind of speed he shows. He brings a clear lead into the stretch, and he's still clear at the 3/16. This is the Big Wham, though. He's a tough little 2-year-old, and he eventually grinds down Straighten Up. He doesn't quit the horse on the outside.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just stays on despite being on his wrong lead here and really gets by straighten up pretty easily at the end of the race. But this horse, again, showed big speed. I was concerned going into that graduation day just because even though this horse won clear in his debut, I didn't love the way he was finishing that race at 5 furlongs. And I guess it was a little bit of an issue last time, too. But he's obviously a very dangerous horse here.
Merit Song, the number 7, won his second lifetime start against Calbred maiden claimers in pace pressing fashion. I don't think that trip is available to him here. I just think the 1 and the 6 are a little bit faster than him early. He faced Open Company in this race, his most recent effort. This race was at 3/4 of a mile. It's an open $50,000 starter allowance race. We see him on the outside chasing the leader. He stays on to finish second. His buyers are just too light right now.
Yeah, he was, on the chase from start to finish here. Can't get to the horse on the lead. He's going to be on the chase again in this race, which is, obviously a little bit tougher. And 2 starts back, the horse that won that race that we just watched, the 2 starts back, that horse ran in the graduation and was nowhere behind Straighten Up.
Completing this field of Calbred 2-year-olds is the number 8. That's Giver, Not a Taker. And I think the connections have to be very pleased with this outside post position because this horse has a little bit of speed. And if he breaks, he could sit just off the 1 and the 6. And if those two duel hot and heavy, Giver, Not a Taker might be in the catbird seat. Let's watch this horse's debut earlier at the Del Mar meet. And he's worked out that kind of trip. He just settled outside. He took over when asked for a run. And once he changed leads, it was over.
Yeah, I like the way he won this race. He did have the speed to keep up close. They just kept him 3 wide in the clear, up the challenge as they came into the stretch, and he just settled this race pretty quickly. This was a nice debut. A horse who feels like he's got the right amount of upside, Dan, to try him in a race like this, but he's got his work cut out for him with the 2 favorites.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. Top pick time for the Smokin. You're going with the horse on the outside, Giver, Not a Taker. This horse is okay, Mike. He's got some speed.
Yeah, he does. He's going to need the 1 in the 6 to hook it up early in this race. I recognize that. I think that there's a real chance that happens, though, and I think this horse could fall into a little bit of a trip.
The break's really the key for the 1 Kangaroo Court. I don't love the morning line price on him as he's going to be facing a legitimately fast horse on the outside in the number 6, Straighten Up. But I liked what I've seen from him in 2 lifetime starts. And if he does break, maybe he's fast enough to withstand the pace pressure and go. We'll learn a lot more about him in this race. 8164 for Mike, 1682 for me. It's the Smokin, the feature at Del Mar and the race of the day. Best of luck.